Even faith the size of a mustard seed can change the way you see the world. Something that I think that we all deal with from time to time is feeling like we're not enough. Have you ever felt like a fraud? Sometimes you can look and you see how everybody else is living. It seems like they have it all figured out. And at the same time, you're sitting alone in your room and just anxiety tends to well up inside. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not sure what to do. And we can feel like everybody else already has it all figured out. The feeling of I'm not enough is one of the most common experiences we all face. It's frustrating because we don't like feeling this way. But you know what? You're not alone. Imposter syndrome, so this is something you've probably heard about, affects 25 to 30% of high achievers. 70% of adults experience this at some point in their lives. So you're not alone. The problem is that we can't see inside of other people's heads. We can't see inside their souls. Our perception of others barely scratches the surface. We imagine that everyone else knows what's going on and that they have their lives figured out. And then we assume, on the other hand, that we're failures. We don't know what's happening. It feels like our life is a mess. Changing our mindset is an effective way to overcome imposter syndrome. One of the most profound ways to change our mindset is to grow in faith. Have you ever thought of this? If imposter syndrome thrives on comparison, faith breaks the cycle. Faith shifts our gaze from others to God. In today's gospel, Luke 17, 5 through 10, the apostles say to Jesus, increase our faith. Faith begins when we recognize our needs and turn to God, relying on Him. The Catechism of the Catholic Church is something that it says, faith is a personal act, the free response of the human person to the initiative of God who reveals Himself. God wants to enter into relationship with us. This alone should shake us out of imposter syndrome. What you are in the eyes of God, that's what you are, neither more nor less. This is another gift that God gives us through faith. Faith anchors us in deeper truths. If I feel like I'm not enough, I should check to see if maybe I don't have enough faith. Sometimes we ask God for more faith. Then it surprises us that we're beset by trials, by doubts. But how are we going to grow in faith if we don't have to work for it? God allows trials not to break us, but to strengthen us. Just like at the gym, you're never going to get stronger if you're only lifting the bar. St. Vincent de Paul is one of my favorite saints. He did a lot of heavy lifting to grow in the faith. You've probably heard his name, maybe connected to the charitable organization that's hosted at a lot of parishes around the country. And in 17th century France, he dedicated himself to serving the poor. Beyond that, he also did a lot for the formation of Catholic priests. In 1610, he found out about a fellow Catholic priest who was suffering tremendous temptations against faith. The saint begged God to give him the sufferings of his fellow priests. And he battled tremendous doubts for 3 years. God used these 3 years of suffering to purify him of the last vestiges of pride in his soul. So 3 years of doubt, suffering doubt, having to grow in his faith, but then also getting rid of that spiritual pride. Just like Vincent, we face doubt and distraction, though ours might be less dramatic. For us, the test of faith often comes in ordinary choices. Every time we enter the church and pray to God, we are exercising our faith. There are so many other things to do. Sometimes we even think there are more important things to do, whether that be studying, hanging out with friends, or doing our laundry. It sounds crazy when we say it out loud, but I am sure many of us have had moments when we have at least thought of missing Mass for something as mundane as doing laundry. This week, make a conscious commitment to make room for God. Don't let Him lose out to moldy socks. You may feel like you're not enough, but faith, even faith the size of a mustard seed, is enough because God is enough.